All right, family. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is doing well. We are hanging out this morning on the K-City Nation Network. It is Mental Health Awareness Week, Mental Health Awareness Month, and we have been talking about mental health awareness. We've been talking about anxiety. Last week, we were dealing with personal healing and development, even healing in your family and healing in your marriage, just going through that process. We've had some wonderful guests all month long. And today we are focusing on mental health awareness. We're talking about Black men and therapy. We are dispelling all the myths around it. And I couldn't think of anybody else to hang out with us than my man, Juan Baxter. What's good, bro?
What's up, bro? How you feel now?
Bro, I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Now, y'all, if you don't know this man, you are just out of the loop, okay? He is a radio host, musical director. He is the musical director of Rhythm and Praise Radio. Him and his wife got their own radio station. Truth is, he is behind the scenes on so much stuff, putting out independent artists for years. And what many don't know is this guy, he is a therapist, particularly for Black males. He works with students, he works with men, and he just has a plethora of gifts. And because he is so well-traveled, deals with people on all different levels, I couldn't think of anybody else to hang out with us to deal with this topic. So, bro, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Hey, man, thanks for the invite, bro. Thanks for the invite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited because, like, you know, this is a topic that's truly it's one of those things that I feel like it's my calling. So
yeah,
you know, that's my calling.
Yeah, bro. And you know, like I know, man, a couple months ago, I was really thinking about, you've kind of seen a lot of the this telehealth thing blow up during this COVID we've been in, right?
Right.
And you kind of see all these apps where you can just jump on, get a therapist and kind of get in there and get some help, right?
Right.
And I started to think about, well, how could I develop something particularly for African-American males? And it wasn't the platforms that was the problem. Right. It wasn't even the clientele that was the problem. The problem was there wasn't enough of you around to fill the space, bro.
That's it.
There were not enough male African-American therapists to fill the spot, bro.
Yeah, like it's a shortage of us, man, but it's a few out here, man. The issue is, first of all, we as Black males need to realize that we need help.
Yeah.
So
true that.
You won't be a helper if you don't realize you need help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I realized personally that I needed help. And at the same time, God told me you need to be the helper. You know what I'm saying? So he charged me with going back to school and becoming a helper because, you know, growing up, if you grew up in the inner city, you got trauma in your life.
Say that again, bro.
Okay. If you grew up in the inner city, you got trauma. You was born into trauma. You can't say you came out of the inner city and you to yourself. That means you really don't understand what you've been through.
Yeah.
And because we don't realize it, we use coping mechanisms like getting high, drinking, fornicating, you know, all these other things that we do, and we don't think it's like self-medication, as we used to call it. Man, I'm self-medicating myself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. From my BC days, self-medicate myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
But at the same time, when you wake up and the high come down, your situation and your problems still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think we recognize, hey, growing up in the inner city, and really, and sometimes it's not just inner city, man. You can grow. I'm a suburban boy. I grew up with some trauma in my life. You understand?
That's a whole different trauma.
But I think we normalize it so much that this is the way just things are. We don't think we really need help to deal with it. And it's not. Here's the truth: it's not till we have to face our own families, when we got to raise our own children, that we realize, oh my God, I am jacked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mama, you did a job on me, mama.
Yeah. Yeah. What has been the biggest fear that you find that keeps men from trying to get some help? That's what do you find?
The stigma of going to therapy.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, you don't want people to be like, yo, you go see a therapist? Like, ain't nothing bad. You crazy. Like, you don't want the judgment side of your family and friends, because in our community, it's like you shunned upon if you go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, something happened. Like, I could tell you growing up, I seen a lot of friends and a lot of people whose parents got murdered. And grandmom, all they did was take the kid to church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that ain't a good thing, but I'm like, yo, he need more than the Lord. Like, the Lord trained up people to help him help her mentally deal with losing a parent.
Yeah.
We tried to hide them in the back and shun them from the rest of the world. And I'm like, but when they grow up, they still dealing with this. I never had my mom. I never had my dad. I lost them to violence. And I was 5 years old looking over at a coffin and my parent. Like, those traumas. And when they grow up and they be angry, we like, I don't know why they so angry. And I don't know why they so upset. Like, you know why they so upset?
Yeah.
You've been trying to hide it from yourself. So the stigma around in the Black culture, it was like, you can go to church, but you can't go to therapy.
Right.
I'm like, no, they go hand in hand. It goes hand in hand in our community. You can't have one without the other. Like, trauma, God gave us doctors. I always say, if you sick in the body, you ain't gonna stay home. You get to the point where you too sick, where you going? You going to the hospital or a doctor?
Yes, sir.
If you sick in the mind, where you gonna go?
Church ain't gonna do it, right?
Church ain't gonna do it.
Out shouting and dancing ain't gonna do it.
Listen, you be one of them crazy people out there like, I got tracks. Do you know Jesus died for you? Like, oh my goodness. Like, do you know the Lord Jesus? Like, hey.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, we know. Like, so the good thing is some churches are developing the mental health aspect of the church now.
Sure.
Which is good, but it's kind of late, because you got generations of people who needed mental health who's been running your church.
True.
So it's a cycle of that, that mental health issue in your church that you ain't dealt. Now you want to deal with it because you see the kids. Like, this is like 3rd, 4th generation kids you see. And you like, oh, we got to deal with this, but we never dealt with grandma, mom, or nothing.
Mm-hmm. And so, we just put them to the side. Oh, they just crazy. We just leave them alone.
Sister Bertha, just let it go. No, don't let it go. Brother Jerome, no, don't let Brother Jerome just be running around in the church. So we have to get to a point where it's not, we get rid of the fear of saying, yo, I go to a therapist. Yo, when I be like telling folks I'm a therapist, sometimes dudes be like, what? For real, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm a therapist. Like, I see y'all, they be like, I thought you just did radio. No, dog, I got a whole degree. Like, I paid my money to get this degree. I paid my money to get what I got, because the Lord said I had to help my brothers. They had to have somebody who looked like them, who've been through them. I know what it means to raise children. You know what I'm saying? I know what it means to be in the hood. I know what it means to be out in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? I know what it means to grow up I grew up in a project house on welfare. So if you grew up in I lost a lot of my friends due to gun violence. I've been shot at. You know what I'm saying? I've been robbed. You know what I'm saying? I done did some things. So I understand those things. Now, when a brother sit down, he just ain't talking to somebody who just read a book.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, you ain't just talking to somebody who read a book. Like, no, I actually lived that. So I made some mistakes along the way, but also I've been trained to learn how to talk to the people to make you understand that a therapist ain't a fixer. We're a helper. We're going to help you figure out how you can live the best productive life for yourself. We're not there to okay, I'm going to just hold your hand through the rest of your life. No, I'm trying to work my way out of a job.
Got you.
And some people think, no, it's a lifetime commitment. No, I'm supposed to help you work your way back to a normalcy in your own life, whatever that looks like.
And you said something about the anger, right? That anger that persists in men, man. Particularly, let's stay specific here. The anger that persists in Black men. We carry so much anger a lot of times out of ourselves, and we don't like to admit it, but it's that anger is a lot of times is against our parents, right? For how they either handled us or mishandled us, and we have no out. We can't. We fail to find constructive outlets to do something about that anger. And I don't care how much basketball you play, right? I don't care how much you go to the gun range. I don't care how many women you hit. Like, none of that dispels that anger. You gotta find some clinical space to confront those things.
Yeah, you have to, because just masking the anger ain't going. I always remember we talked before. I tell you, like, we get some of us, we got residue.
Right.
We learn how to mask it. Like, my mom showed me how to mask hurt in front of people. Like, I can put on a face and you'll never know my world is going down, because I watched my mother put on a face in front of people when the world was down. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we grow up mimicking those things that we saw. Some of our houses, like, I teach parenting classes as well in the city of Philadelphia, so throughout the city. And when I teach the parenting class, I tell the parents, the first teachers our children know are us. So how we handle situations in front of them at the baby stage, they continue to develop the same thing. And as we parent, some of us, the way we parent is the way we were parented. Two ways. Either we take what we got, the way we were parented, and we use that. Oh, I was raised this way. Look at me. No, mama, I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I got a lot of trauma from all the beatings you gave me, mama. Like, I got like certain words as trigger words to me because you was verbally abusive to me.
Yeah.
You know, daddy, like, you didn't spend time, like, you were a non-involved parent throughout my whole life, and you lived in my house, father. You dig what I'm saying? Or let's keep it funky.
Let's keep
Some parents spent more time at the church than they spent with their own children.
Yeah.
So you wonder why your children hate church. You dig what I'm saying? Like, we as people, first we got to do self-evaluation. Like, what did you do? Or what didn't you do as a parent? You know what I'm saying? I got children, and I know I messed up sometimes, especially with my boys. Like, we think, yeah, it's my son, man. I'm saying he gonna be hard. Like, listen, get up, like, fall down, get up, man.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Let's say now he out here shooting people because he ain't got no feeling. Because the first time he fell and he scraped his knee and he cried, I told him, "Shut up, you a boy.
Right.
You ain't a girl. You better not cry." So I told him, this is what I told him to do with his feelings. Don't you suck him up. Don't say nothing. So now the rest of his life, I gave him permission to suck up those feelings. So when he angry and he mad and he can't articulate how he feel, whose fault is it?
It's our fault, bro. I mean, that's what we trained them, right? You know, we trained them even when we react, and I'm guilty of this, screaming and yelling all the time, right? That we teach them to react that way because that's how we reacted, right? That's how we saw our folks react. You right about it, bro. You right about it.
Yes, sir. And I tell people, I say, listen, you want to know how you talk to people? You want to know how you respond to people, especially on the telephone? Give your child the telephone at like 2 or 3 and tell them, act like mommy talking on the telephone, act like daddy, and watch how they mimic you.
Watch how it, bro. We don't want to see that.
They mimic you, but then we gotta think, yo, we mimic our parents in so many different ways.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I told myself, like, here's my thing, and I love my mama, right? But my mama was a clean freak. She ain't want no spots on her wall. Like, your beds had to be made. Like, if some trash was on the floor and you didn't pick it up, you felt that. You know what I'm saying? Dishes wasn't done. No dishes could sit in her sink all day long. So to me, like, I get anxiety when I don't see stuff clean. And I'm a 40+ man, and I still get that same anxiety if I walk in the kitchen and I see dishes in the kitchen sink.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I still get that anxiety, like my mama gonna be right behind me, like a ninja. Like stealth. She just like you don't even feel her. You just feel a Jerry curl slide in the room on you. Shoot. Like, but that's my anxiety, you know, and sometimes I have to be careful because I push my anxieties on my family. You dig what I'm saying? So by pushing my anxieties on my family, that makes me feel like, oh man, that's something I shouldn't have did for my mama.
But see, right there, that is the mental health awareness that we're talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
How we interact with our spouses, how we interact with our children, oftentimes is determined by the environment that we grew up in. And if we don't put ourselves in the spaces to help us recognize why I'm reacting this way, why I'm beating my wife this way, why I'm abusing my children this way, then the guilt will lay in, the shame will lay in, and we just continue on a perpetual a pattern of abuse that our children are going to end up in. You know, we have to be, as you stated from the beginning, we got to recognize, number one, that we need some help, right? We got to recognize that this ain't normal. Screaming at your kids, beating on your wife. Like, we'll talk about the sexual trauma in a minute.
Oh yeah. We ain't leave that out.
Angry all the freaking time. That stuff isn't normal. My sister put in here, anger is a secondary emotion that men use to protect themselves from vulnerability. We need to help Black men gain emotional intelligence to identify emotions like disappointment, fear, and inadequacy, and how to cope with the stress in healthy ways. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about that emotional intelligence, bro.
But it's all about communication and articulating their feelings. Most men don't know how to articulate how we feel.
No, we don't.
We don't know how to say, yo, I'm hurting. I tell my wife all the time, like, it was when we first got married, like before I became a therapist, I didn't know how to tell her I was a disappointment to myself. You dig what I'm saying? Like, how do you tell your wife, look, I feel like a disappointment to myself?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the job to support us financially. You, and here's another thing. Whew, like, when your woman makes more money than you as a man, and you feel less of a man, how do you articulate that? Like, all you do, it brings up anger. And I tell people, I always talk. See, here's my thing. I can talk all of the league. I mean, all of the professional jargon and give you all the diagnosis. Man, we got to straight up learn how to teach people how to talk about their feelings. I can tell you all of these diagnoses, but homie, this is why I feel like God sent me, because he needed somebody to talk the language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, you got this soda bottle feeling. You dig what I'm saying? You putting everything in there and you shaking it up. But once you open that soda bottle up that you shook up, what's happening? It's spraying on everybody. Everybody gets it. You don't care. Nobody say nothing to me. Like, dude, you never dealt with that little fizz first. If you'd have just cracked the top a little, we know how to open a soda after it's shook up, right? Little by little. I tell people, open it up little by little. So, first of all, you got to find somebody worthy enough to trust with your information. Sometimes that ain't your homie. You can't talk to your homie who ain't married about your marriage.
Yeah.
He has no clue. You can't talk to, honestly, sometimes, and I keep it 100, you can't talk to church people about your emotion because they're going to only give you Bible and not, some of them not even going to tell you what happened in their lives.
You right about that?
You dig what I'm saying? They not even. My thing is, we have to be able to knock down that wall of, man, I'm hard, like I'm a man. Like, no, look, bro, you hurt. I tell men, cry, dog. Cry in front of your family, and then tell them why you crying. Like, I cry in front of my kids, but I tell them why I'm crying.
Yeah.
Not because I'm soft. Like, dog, you can try me if you want. I ain't soft. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason, because females have to see men in this vulnerable way. Because if not, all we giving is we giving this fake image that everything is okay. But when it's not, you can tell by the smallest thing when they blow up. You got issues, bruh.
Yeah.
You got issues, man. And a lot of times the closest one to you catches it the most. Your children, your wife, your parents, whoever, like the closest ones, man. And you can lose a relationship off of a word more than off of hitting, off of one word.
Yeah.
Off of one word. So you want to be careful how you let this stuff come out. That's why I said we need to be taught, retrain how to speak about feelings, because we're not taught at all how to speak about feelings. Now, nowadays, some parents they be like, tell me how you feel. I tell you, if your son fall or he come running in the room, or here's the difference, your daughter fall, you like, get up, princess. Oh, you okay? Is your knee hurt? This, that, and the third. Your son fall. You want to know why we got so many teenage murders? Because your son falls. You tell him, get up. You a man. You never ask him, like, is your knee hurting?
Right.
Or they come in the room, you like, stop crying. Why you always crying? You never say, why you crying?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when something happened in school, they so afraid they don't even want to tell you.
Yeah.
Something happened outside, they don't even want to tell you.
Yeah.
Because all you gonna do is fuss and scream at them. Like, man, son, like you better suck it up. Like somebody punch you, you better punch them back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get to a point where we talk to our children and we say, look, what's going on with you? And that starts from like 2 and 3. Once they start understanding language. It don't start when they 17, 18. You out of the matter of fact, it don't even start when they 10. Now, these 10-year-olds, boy, they're like 35, 40.
Okay, strong. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they'll tell you what you doing wrong. What you ain't a good daddy, because they're spilling on you. We got to start teaching language again, and I'm talking about emotional language.
Yeah,
feeling. Like, how do you feel today? Like, do we still have dinner at the table and we talk about how was your day, and make your children articulate?
Yeah, I think that vulnerable space, my man put it, it makes us feel inadequate, right? Because we were never taught that it is okay to feel, it's okay to grieve, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be hurt. I don't know why we think we can't be hurt, like emotionally, physically. We're not supposed to have any pain. But like you said, it's like we were raised, man. Be strong, let that stuff go, stop whining and crying all the time. Here's the language. You acting like a little girl. You acting like a little faggot. You acting like a little sissy. You know what I mean?
What does that mean, though?
And how does that completely shut us down from ever expressing that emotion again?
I always say, man, your kid can run with a son running with one of them cartoon hickeys that be talking, and you be like, shut up, boy, just put some ice on it. Yeah. Dude, ask him how he got the hickey.
Yeah.
Ask him does the hickey hurt? Stop screaming at him. Find out. Stop screaming at your daughter. Yeah, they kids. They gonna do it. They gonna do things. Yeah, that's your wife, man. Like, she gonna make mistakes. That's your husband. He gonna make mistakes. Instead of yelling, ask him like, babe, how you feel? Like, you okay, love?
Yeah.
Like, talk to him.
Yeah.
If you shouting all the time, who hears each other? Nobody. It's just who got the biggest, excuse my language, who got the biggest balls in the house.
Right. That's what it be, though. That's exactly what it be.
I'm the man of this house. You know what I'm saying? She like, man, listen, you ain't running nothing. You ain't even got no job. Like, we gotta get rid of this stuff, because this is the stuff it's killing our community.
Yeah. It's
killing our community. And we gotta stop hiding that crazy cousin in the back room, or that crazy uncle in the back room, and get them some help. You know what I'm saying? I had Uncle Big Raymond, man, like he just lived in the back room.
Never got him any help.
Never got him any. The help was make sure you put the food at the door on some real stuff. Knock on the door, leave the food at the door. Like, stop playing, y'all.
Like a prison, dude. Like a prison.
But we was little kids, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we grew. Oh, so if you crazy, you just stay in the back room. No. I got cousins now my age. I know they deal with mental health. They stay away from me, though. They got mental health issues, but they stay away from me. Because they know, I'm going to tell you need to go to a facility where and I'm talking about bad, you need to be at a facility.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff we don't want to say. We don't want to confront our family members who we know got serious freaking issues. Can't talk, can't stay married. You estranged from your kids because of some stuff you didn't want to deal with, man.
Listen, and violence
Man.
towards their family. Do you know how much we know that family members been beat? You dig what I'm saying? And they fighting. And she cutting him, and you talking about they still love each other. No,
that's not love, yo.
Love, family. Listen, I had a homie who grew up like he saw his dad beat his mom all the time throughout his life. So when we became teenagers, he thought that was love. You dig what I'm saying? And I had to point him aside, like, yo, because one day he did it from me. I pointed like, yo, that ain't what we do to females.
Yeah.
He like, what, man? Like, but I love her. No, you don't. That ain't love. I said, know what? You need to leave her alone. Because if you feel like you need to put your hands on somebody, hallelujah, and you ain't putting your hands on them to pray for them, then you need help, family. That goes for females and males.
Yeah. I read a stat the other day, just shifting a bit, that one out of every 6 black men have experienced some type of sexual abuse in their life.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we could talk about we've talked about the violence, but this is a thing that we never talk about, bro. The sexual abuse that's happened to men over at early stages in their life.
Oh yeah,
and parents, our parents wiping under the table. Oh, that's just a cousin. We're not gonna lock him up. We're not gonna talk about him. We're just gonna push him to the side. We're not gonna let him around him. Or that was we know Uncle J Ray. That's how Uncle Ray and them was. You know, we take the kid to church. We pray about it. We pray over them, but then we don't get them to help to address what happened. You just opened up a can of worms and a 6-year-old. And then you wonder why they sleep with all these women, right? You wonder why they can't control their emotions. But this stuff has happened and been happening for years, and we just move past it.
Listen, we don't understand in our community how hurtful us not really stepping up to the plate really destroys the whole family dynamic, right? We know we got this perverted uncle or aunt, and you know it's like a baby. You can't leave food in front of a baby and turn your head, because the moment you do, they snatching it. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. So why would you put your child in that situation knowing that your brother dealt with perversion his whole life?
Everybody know.
Everybody knows. So you leave your child with your brother or with this aunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this child is sexually assaulted by a family member. Forget you. I don't care who it is. Everybody gonna pay. Y'all need to stop playing. Everybody gonna pay. I don't care if you're talking about that's your little nephew. He going to jail too. I don't care nothing about none of it. If you got enough heart to touch a child, you got enough heart to sit you behind in jail for as long as they tell you to. You dig what I'm saying? And the problem is we always want to take the easy way out. That's with everything. And when it comes to sexual assault, we have so many damaged adults because of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Little girls, I see them all the time. They since I teach parenting classes in high school, I see 16 and 17-year-olds with 2 and 3 babies because they was touched when they was 6 or 7. You know what I mean? And the perversion. I see the young guys, they don't know what sexuality they want.
Because they was touched.
Because they was touched. They can't tell you, like, I'm not gay, but, you know, I think I'm gay because of what happened to me. You dig what I'm saying? So you messing with how they feel as a man. So now they dealing with this spirit of homosexuality and dealing with this life of homosexuality because they've been touched. And it's not because they wanted to be touched. It's a difference if that's what you decide.
Right. There's a difference in that. Absolutely.
If you decide that's your lifestyle that you want to live, like that's your decision. I have no qualms with that. No qualms. Like that that's you, bro. That's you, sis. I love you. I still love you.
But if it's born out of a place of abuse or born out of a place of pain, born out of something that you want to wear, that's when it's an issue. Yeah.
And after that, you can't just say, you know what, I'm gonna just keep you next to me. No.
Ain't gonna work.
First of all, can I tell you something? That child has lost trust in the parent once you didn't do what you're supposed to do. If that child tells you that they've been sexually assaulted or touched, and you as a parent say, you know what, like, no, you good, like that didn't happen, that child hates you forever. Forever. Because you made the decision to pick that other person over your child. And you never went to go get the help. Like, somebody has to walk that child through what happened to let them know that it wasn't their fault. A lot of them deal with, it was my fault. I shouldn't have been in the room. I shouldn't have took a bath in my house at that time. I shouldn't have been laying in that bed. No. That grown up is the one at fault. That teenage child is the one at fault. If they do something that they ain't got supposed to, like, you got to get somebody to walk this child through what happened, because that is a traumatic incident that we don't deal with in our culture.
And I want to say this, those who are listening, this may be Sunday for you. This may be Sunday night. This may be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you're watching this. I want to say something to the Black men. If you experience some sexual trauma in your past, and you might, I think the issue is we're not aware that it was trauma or that it was abuse. If you were touched sexually in your younger years, that's abuse, right? And you need to take the time to get help with it. Don't think, oh, I've coped with it, I've been able to manage it. No. Your wife know you ain't been able to manage it. Your people around you know you ain't been able to manage it. You know yourself in your heart you ain't been able to manage it. That's why you all up in the porn, right? You all up fooling with them prostitutes, right? You can't figure out what gender you like because something happened to you early in your life. You are not messed up. It is not your fault. I know we don't like to use this word. You are a victim of somebody else's abuse.
That's good, bro.
You need to get some help. It's not weak.
Good.
It's not weak to admit that you've been victimized. You're not a chunk that you admit you've been victimized. It's not okay that we walk around here like a little dog with the pink thing hanging out, hitting everything we can get our hands on. That's not normal. It's not. It's not. And most of the time it stems from our sexual trauma. It stems from some abuse that happened to us when we were younger. And man, if that's you, bro, do your best to find a way to get some help, man. I'm pleading with you, bro. Get the help you need.
Yeah. You know what? A few years ago, I seen a bunch of folks, especially men, they was putting up a post about how they were sexually abused on Facebook. And I was like, yo, you know, I was praying for them, but at the same time, I'm like, yes, like step up. Like, you know, a lot of men won't say that. You know what I'm saying? They were putting it out there, like, and some of them you knew because of their mannerisms, but other ones I was like, whoa. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, thank you, because what you just did was knock down that wall of stigmatism. Like, like I was sexually abused as a child. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I deal with this anger and rage. I do this thing, and I'm about to do another one. It's called Take Back the Remote Control of Your Life. Okay. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm going to do one from, like, taking back the remote control from your grade, but also taking back the remote control from sexual abuse. You dig what I'm saying? Because that person who sexually abused you still has your remote control because you still dealing with it. Every time you think about it, they didn't hit that button. You dig what I'm saying? But you need to go and get some help because you got to take back that remote of your life. And it can be done, but you always, you know, you got to get professional help.
Gotcha.
And can I be honest? Let me be honest.
Shoot it straight, bro.
A lot of us, and some of us males, and I'm be honest, we were sexually assaulted by our babysitters. Males. We were touched by our babysitters. They wasn't that much older than us. But you know what I'm saying? We were touched by our babysitters. Yeah. And we would watch porn with them. Yep. We saw the porno magazines with them. Yep. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't even got to be a family, but let's keep it 100. Like we like, and then we grow up. We understand. Like, you know, we had an uncle who had porn pictures. Like me, my uncle used to have porn pictures all on his back wall. I go in there and look. That's trauma already. I'm seeing something that's 7 that I shouldn't be seeing right now.
Yeah, bro.
We don't understand, like, what do we see? You know what I'm saying? These videos now with our kids with these phones, as soon as they hit the wrong button, how do you explain to your 5-year-old when they see that? Like, it's more than just the physical part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's also the visual part that we have to have our children cope with, because they can tell you a lot more than now at a young age than we can. Listen, man, Dylan, you know, working in these schools, man, these kids if any little space they find, they be in a corner somewhere getting busy. You like, come on, man, like y'all like cats and dogs, like calm down, like get a room. But this is the reality, because we live in such a heightened sexual world right now. Everything is sexuality, from the TV shows to the commercials to the music. And those things influence our children. Yeah. So we talk about sexual abuse, but we got to talk about just the seeing of the sexuality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's abuse right there. That's a whole nother trauma. Because now you're trying to defend what's going on in your home against what they seeing on TV.
Excuse my doorbell.
Go ahead, bro. It's good. Like I was like, Lord, that's you. Okay. So we have to defend that, because that right there is another beast that we have to fight and defeat. You know, because like we want our children to be age appropriate. God forbid someone touches your child, but God forbid they turn on the TV and they see 2 women laying in the bed, or 2 men, or they see somebody just having full out sex on a movie because you didn't put the parental thing on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
we'll pick up your phone and see something they shouldn't see.
See one of them one of them pics that somebody done sent you. Like that, like, mommy, why this man send you a picture of his private? Like, I just hit it mommy, why you know what I'm saying? Like all these things, like we have to be able to have discussions. And like I said, it comes from communication. If we teach communication the proper way in our community, we'll have a better understanding of how we can better help our children. Now, here's the thing. We know when they say, when you get saved, that don't mean your problem's going to stop.
Right.
Don't think that's because you teach communication, your problems they're going to stop.
Yeah.
No. Then you'll just have a better notebook on what the problems are. And then you can deal with it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But if your notebook is empty and you can't tell me what's going on in your child's life, and they don't have enough respect to sit down and be like, listen, or they don't have that fear where they say, okay, I'm about to tell my parents my sexuality. You dig what I'm saying? You either deal with it or you don't. You just, okay. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, okay, what happened? Did somebody touch you? Yeah, who was it? I ain't gonna tell you because you know, I don't want to start a problem between you and I. Oh no, it was a problem when they touched you.
Yeah.
The problem ain't started now. The problem started when they touched you. You dig what I'm saying? And we need to be able to deal with this. Like it's so many broken men and broken women around, and just being a man, a black man, there's so many broken black men that's hiding the fact that they were touched when they was little, and they angry and they running around and they like, now they got tats all on them. Now they want to shoot people. Now they want to show that they extra hard. And I'm like, no, you just a scared little boy in the inside, and you don't know how to articulate that you fell and got hurt, and say, mommy, I fell, and daddy, like I was hurt. Somebody hurt me when I was 7, but I didn't tell y'all.
Yeah.
So now all that is masked up in that soda bottle, and we losing these kids day by day by day, and they don't even know.
I was reading the other day I was reading a book on financial health, right? And instead of talking about spending habits and all the other financial stuff, the book started pointing to the emotional health of the person. How much trauma affects how we think about how we manage our resources, or the impact of trauma on our lives affects how we spend, how we what we look to. So it's not just, yes, the interaction with our families, interacting with our children, interaction with our spouse, and our sexuality. If we don't deal with our own trauma in our mind, it affects your money too.
Oh,
A lot of it affects your money too, because we're not mentally stable enough, emotionally stable enough to make wise decisions. Instead, we're driven by our emotions as opposed to driven by the wisdom that we need to manage the resources that we have.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's so true, because, a lot of times we try to buy things to mask how we really feel. Especially in our community. So when I go to Youth Study Center and I teach life skills with the young guys, I say, I give you $1 million right now. You can do whatever you want to do with it. What you want to do with it? First thing they say, car, jewelry, clothes. I'm like, yo, that's it. And I'm gonna stash the rest. Like,
stash
okay.
it. Who you hide it from?
I'm like, so all you think about enough for yourself is just to shine you up, because you're still gonna be dirty and have clean clothes on.
Right.
Like, you still gonna be the dirty dude. I know people who they just aura look dirty. They can have clean clothes on. Somebody who just look dirty, and you like, even though you got on clean clothes, you still look dirty to me. And that's not a knock, but it's like that's how some of us live. Like, that's our being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's our being. Like, we are emotionally affected by what we see and judgment. Okay, they think this of me, so I'm gonna go out and buy all this stuff. And then what they think? I got some money. I done bought a house and moved out of the neighborhood, but they don't know that I'm house poor, because the only thing I'm doing is paying for this house.
Right. Ain't got no decent bed to sleep in. Ain't got no clothes.
You go to their crib, you like, what's that smell? They got dogs running around. The house smell like dog poop. They got this old rinky-dink couch. You like, yo, I ain't sitting on that. This is a nice house, but I ain't sitting on your furniture. I meet you on the porch. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's at the same time, it's like, what do we think about ourselves? And that emotional part of thinking about yourself. I always say, when you look in the mirror, tell me who you see. Can you articulate who you see when you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
That's hard for so many people, even people in leadership, even people you think got it going on. You show me somebody that got it going on, I'll tell you, look in the mirror and tell me who you see.
Yeah.
Articulate who you see yourself as. I call it the elevator pitch of your life. Who's your elevator pitch of your life? If you do an elevator pitch of your life, I just learned that now when people say, well, what do? I can tell them. What's your purpose? I can tell you. What's your goal? I can tell you. But it took me to do a lot of self-evaluation on myself to realize what I'm capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing, what I need help with and what I don't need help with, what traumas I'm still dealing with that got residues in me. Because if you can push a button or say a word to me and I go back to the hood, dude, I'm still dealing with that residue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I call it the now.
Okay.
The people, places, and things.
Okay.
Like those residues you need to deal with. Like the people. If it's people in your life that caused you trauma or that make you, we got family members we can't stand. As soon as we see them, oh man, this ninja better not say nothing to me. If she open her mouth. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always hated this aunt. She would always, when I was a kid, she would always say stuff to me smart. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I wish she would. Places. If you know your hood is a trigger for you, stay out of it. I don't care how much you want to shine. Stay out of your hood. Drive past and say, oh, I ain't never got to be back here ever again. But if you know it's a trigger of emotion, of feeling, like I love my hood, but my hood caused me a lot of trauma. I could never really move back there mentally. Physically, if I had to, because it's changed, but mentally, I can't move back there. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't understand like the mental aspect of moving places. And people, places, and things. Things. If you got a problem with drugs, alcohol, guns, cars. Sometimes we use them cars. You want a fast car, motorcycle. I'm gonna ride my motorcycle. Like you gotta
masking?
You masking. And here's the new thing: working out.
Everybody.
I'm going to the gym. Like go to a therapist and to the gym.
Yeah.
Because you can get this together, the body together, but this up here still jacked up. So we gotta realize, like, what is our mental state? What's the noun factor that we deal with? The people, places, and things that trigger us, that trigger our emotions and our feelings. If we can deal with the noun, we can start living a productive life that scrapes off. Man, we talked about scraping off the residue. It's a scraping process. And you know one thing about scraping? Scraping hurts.
It does. It does.
Scraping hurts, people. Like to scrape something off, you try scraping something off, like it hurts. It digs deep down in the flesh and you scrape it off. But guess what? At the time, it starts healing. You get a scab. Then you start developing new skin, and then it ain't even there no more.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like I try to talk to people in layman terms. Like,
but we don't. I don't think we want to. We don't. And I need to stop saying we. I don't like the pain of the scrape. Right. I don't like the process because sometimes the deeper I scrape, the more I realize what's down in there that I need to scrape off some more. You take off one layer, you be like, Jesus, that thing infected more. I gotta go down deeper and deeper and deeper. Because I just, and transparency, I'm going through my own healing. I'm going through my own restoration process. I had some major trauma happen to me almost 3 years ago, but it caused me to confront a whole lot of stuff that I had been neglecting. And the deeper I scraped, the deeper I had to keep going. The deeper I scraped, the deeper I had to keep going. And Juan and I were talking the other day. I still got some residue sitting on me, and I didn't like it. But what I want is to be whole. What I want is to be healed. I refuse to allow what happened to me to be passed on to my children. I refuse to allow them to be emotionally inadequate. I refuse to allow them to be emotionally ignorant. I refuse to allow them to be driven by things, or even I refuse to be a trigger in their life in the future. So I'm just gonna keep going, bro. I'm gonna keep going to my therapy. I'm gonna keep going to my groups. I'm gonna keep talking to my sponsor. I'm gonna keep talking to my brothers like you that keep me accountable. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep going through the process until I get to some wholeness in my life, bro.
Hey, that's great. You know what? For you to say that helps somebody else who like, yo, what? Like Pastor Corey, like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if he able to do it, yo, transparency, like me and my family, we got to do family therapy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody look at those Baxters and say, hey. No, but y'all don't understand what it costs to be those Baxters.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to sit down with a family therapist. Because we still deal with trauma. Like we still deal with things in our lives that we need help with. Yeah. I still have to see a therapist. A therapist needs a therapist. If your therapist don't have a therapist, like you need to find a new therapist.
We're called wounded healers. That's what they call us, bro. Wounded healers, bro.
You know, and the trauma that we go through in life, you know, especially if it was a traumatic loss, you dig what I'm saying, a violent loss or something like that. I know myself, I can say it. I deal with survivor's remorse. That's what I deal with. I got survivor syndrome. Like I survived my neighborhood. Okay. I survived a lot of deaths and murders that I was close to, but it didn't get me.
Yeah.
So my question kept saying, well, why not me? Like, you know, I'm burying my friends who have just left. Why wasn't I there?
Yeah.
You know, that's a whole nother trauma. And then we don't talk about secondary trauma, secondary or third trauma. Secondary trauma is like smoking in a room. I'm not smoking, but it hit me.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I just left the basketball court. Or somebody comes to you and they tell you the secret that they've been touched. So now you just picked up that secondary trauma and they say, but you can't tell nobody.
Yeah.
So you just put your trauma on me. But now what am I supposed to do with that trauma? I'm dealing with my own. Now I got to deal with yours. Or you got parents who tell you all of this old trauma that they went through, right? And now you like, so what do I do with this? Like, some of this stuff you could have just kept in the jar. You just gave me all the stuff that you opened up this can and you let out. But what am I supposed to do with it? Now I'm dealing with all this old hurt that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got a thing to do with me. And we deal with the secondary trauma, knowing that, okay, I'm sitting in a room. I know when my dad get home, drunk or high, whatever, he gonna beat the crap out of my mama. I'm too young to do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't understand.
Yeah.
We don't understand, like, the secondary trauma that some of us that we went through. We like, oh, man, I ain't never been like, I never was abused, but my mama was. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad got killed when I was younger. That's trauma. Like, you didn't get killed, but that's trauma. You lose your best friend. I'm dealing with some young dudes right now. They best friends got killed.
Trauma.
You 16, 17 years old. The dude you spend most of your time with is gone now.
Yeah, probably the person you trusted more than anybody else. Yeah.
So the person you expected to spend the rest of your life with, gray hair, no teeth, old walking with canes, ain't gonna see none of that with you. Yeah. How do you emotionally move forward with that?
Yeah.
And we asked him, like, well, how Timmy doing after Raheem got killed? Oh, he all right. He just a little sad. Give that boy some help.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what type of emotions going through his head. Now you may lose your son because he know who did it.
Oh, here's the reality. None of us can escape. None of us have grown up in this world without being impacted with some kind of trauma. If your skin has been darkened by nature's sun, you have dealt with some trauma. Now, there are some anomalies out there that have been able to escape, but the truth is, bro, most of us have had to deal with it. And if you are not conscious, if you don't have any intelligence of why you're responding, how you're reacting, why you're going this direction, bro, my brother, I'm telling you that you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like that shaken up soda, and it's gonna spill out on everything. My prayer today, and I know this is Juan's prayer today, that you would find somebody, watch this, a professional.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That you could get some help from, right? And there are organizations out there that if you don't have insurance, there are organizations out there that offer free mental health assessments. They may give you 3-6 sessions, but those 3-6 sessions are better than nothing, right?
And they got sliding scales. They got places that you can go for sliding scales. You know, like me personally, I send people to certain places. Like, especially if they close to me, like when just real transparency, my wife was going through it, right? And I saw her about to have this mental breakdown. I could not help her.
Yeah.
So what I did as a husband, listen to me, husbands, I picked up the phone and called the place and said, talk to them, schedule appointment, I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The awareness that I could have left her in that trauma and that emotional state.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had enough in me to say, you know what? This needs professional help. Even though you won't hear it from me because I'm too close.
Yeah.
I'm too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a place that I know will help you. So here you go. Set it up. Yeah. But thank God that was years ago, but we still understand the importance in my household of seeing somebody professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people like, I always tell people to go to Pecan. They got a it's called brief therapy. Pecan is on City Line Avenue in Philly. Like, call them. They got a sliding scale. If you ain't got no money, they like next to pennies, but it helps. And I tell you, people, it helps. You need to go to it. Bro, you froze? Uh-oh. So I wait for you to come back. So like the whole thing about it is, like, if you need help, man, I'm available. I'm available for those who need help, mainly for the brothers. I got my degree so that I can help brothers out. The way I do it, I use non-traditional ways of communicating with brothers. Like, yeah, you back, bro?
We back on. I don't know why my internet went down, so however, but we back on, bro.
Okay. Did they hear that, Kay?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Okay, oh, you didn't hear it, but I heard it. So I use non-traditional ways because, man, my whole thing is when I teach finances to my young people and about stocks, I use this brother called the Wall Street Trapper who breaks it down, and he breaks down doing stocks and stuff like that and learning how to Wall Street in layman street terms. So, brother, like my young boys, they be like, when they want to do it in the youth study center and the juvenile places, they eating it up because he's talking their language. But they understand afterwards. They go get books and read the books, and we have conversations about them. With me, I use the same thing. I put it in layman terms so brothers can understand. Like when I was talking about taking back the remote control, the soda bottle. Like I want you to understand these things so you'll be like, oh man. Because if I give you the clinical word and definition, you really not gonna understand it.
Yeah.
But if I give it to you in layman terms, like, look, man, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like running up the street. Or like when we cheating on our wife, I say, listen, man, it's like Stedman rules, man. When Stedman cheat on Oprah to go live with Shaquisha in the basement. Right. You give up your $1 billion woman to go live with this PPP loan. Y'all gonna be at the Gucci shopping in a month. Y'all ain't gonna have no more money. Right. So you gotta look at your wife like Oprah. So when I talk to the dudes, like I try to give it to them, and my stuff is, I'm kind of different. I believe the couch is different to me, because I can say, come sit on my couch as a therapist, and 9 times out of 10, I already know you done locked, and I ain't really saying nothing to him.
Yeah.
I know what it's about. But if I say, look, man, the game is on, man, come over to the crib, man. Let's sit on my couch, watch the game, whatever. Yo, while the game is on, I'm like, yo, how everything doing? I can get everything that I wanted to get out of you, because it's all down. So normally I tell people, listen, you want therapy with me? Like, let's go grab some buffalo wings, some iced tea. Not Long Island, but iced tea with you know what I'm saying? Watch the game and let's talk.
Yeah.
Because I can get more out of you, because we're in a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? But if I put you in a tense atmosphere, you're going to tense up and you ain't going to tell me nothing. You're going to give me everything that you think I want to hear. That ain't what I want to hear. We can't deal with that. I want to hear the real. You dig what I'm saying? And my rates ain't high, but I don't take a lot of clients because, like you said, I do so many things, bro. Like, my life, like, God is stretching me. You dig what I'm saying? In so many different directions. But I know one of my callings is to help my brothers out. So I'm also about to, like I talked to you before, I'm about to start this men's support group, father support group, men's support group, where we have it. It's the couch. We sit down, everybody sit on their couch. We can do it from the Zoom. And we just have real conversations, trying to help each other, man, and trying to be real with each other. Like this, my daughters hate me to say it. I don't know. I got teenagers. I don't know how to communicate with them. Thank God that ain't my story. But the thing about it, it's so many other people's story. I just came home from jail. My kids is grown. How do I deal with them now? That's another trauma.
Yeah.
I seen my old head the other day. He just came home for doing 30 years. Nothing is the same for him. Nothing. So how does he deal with that a trauma from coming out of prison, from doing 20 to 30 years to walking into society right now? We just throw them back into society. No, Do you know when last time he was out here? I was 14 years old.
I just had a brother get out. He went in before COVID. The world has changed since then.
Right?
He came out lost. Ain't no what to do, where to go. I'm like, man, bro. But I've had to be there, had to support, had to talk. And like you said, you ain't on the couch. I ain't using that clinical language. But bro, this is the stuff that needs to happen in order for you to adjust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So true, bro. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta offer that kind of safe space, man.
Yeah, we need it,
bro.
We need it. We got a lot of brothers that's like, the system took the men out of our houses growing up. So because they took them out of the house, when they came back to the house, they was no longer the man of the house. So how do they deal with being reintegrated into their home? Yeah. Like that's why they go back. Like we look at them like they can just stay over here. Like we don't really never deal with that part of the family aspect. Like mommy just coming home. Got a friend, her daughter like just came home from doing like 15 years. Wow. The baby she had before she went in is now 15 years old.
How you gonna deal with that?
How do you deal with it?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like, how do you come and say, well, I'm your dad? Man, you ain't been here 10 years, player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I was 5 when you left. Now you coming in talking about you my dad. Like, yeah, you slept with my mama and had me, player, but you ain't raised me.
Yeah.
Them phone calls, they was cool. I used to have homies, pop used to put them on punishment from prison.
From prison. Right? That jack with your mind, right? Man.
I'm like, yo, you really gonna stay in? Right. Like, my dad said I can't go out this weekend. What he gonna do? He still got 7 more years. He gonna write that down. Yo, when they get out in 7 years, remember that weekend I told you to stay in? I'm like, no, player. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Look, y'all, we have had Brother Baxter on, who is a wealth of knowledge. We just scratched the surface today on a few things, but this is our plea and our attempt. If you need some help, please find a way to get it. Yes, DM us, message us. We on Facebook. We on Instagram. We on YouTube. Listen, message us, DM us. We can point you to some resources. And if we have the space, we'll do it. I offer pastoral care as a form of psychotherapy, offer sliding scale. But like him, there's only so much I can take on. There's only so much I can take on because there is a shortage. There's a shortage of black men. And there's a lot of men I deal with, Juan. You know this. There's a lot of black men that say, Pastor, I ain't talking to nobody else with you. I don't trust nobody else but you.
Nobody else but you.
So we make the time. We make the time and we take the time. But there are other resources that we can point you into. What we don't want you breaking down as things are reopening. Life is starting to go back to normal, to some type of normal. Let's not go back in the same way that we went out. Let's make sure there's a shift and a change in our thinking. So that we can all be all the better for our families and our children. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I appreciate you hanging out with me today.
All day, bro. All day.
You the man, bro. I love you. Give Kayla my love. Kayla, I see you on here. Love you, sis. Thank you for hanging out. Look, man, enjoy your day.
You too, now.
You, bro. And we'll talk for the weekends out, man, okay?
Yes, sir, man. Love you, man. Give my love to the family, man. Everybody listen. Go get some help, baby, if you need it. I'm around.
Go get it.
Around. All right. God bless. Peace, you, bro.
We love y'all. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We see y'all real soon. All right. Be blessed, y'all. Juan, hang on. Don't go off. Don't go away.
I ain't going off. I'm here.